What's up everybody, it's Giles from Strong Dragon Training, and today we are going to go through a workout that involves your pushing muscles. So we are going to start tailoring the programs, make them a little bit more specific to give you guys more and more options and varieties, and start simulating and making your home very close to a gym, or at least very close to workouts you used to do at the gym. Now, one thing I'm going to do in this video that's a little bit different from my previous ones is I had a lot of requests of people saying, well, we have some dumbbells at home, we have some equipment at home, how about you show us how to do with both the dumbbells and the in-home for people that don't have the equipment. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So I have over here to my right hand side something that I have around the house currently to be able to mimic the exercise that I'm going to also be doing with the dumbbells over here to my left. So the exercise that I'm going to be worrying about today is going to be the dumbbell chest press, or in our case we're going to use this nice pack of water. So we have a 24 pack of regular water balls over here. That's going to be our chest press. The seated dumbbell shoulder press, we're going to do with both the dumbbells, and for down I'm going to use the water pack as well, or I'm going to show you the variety where we can use these bottles of water right over here, or the 4-liter bottles. These ones are 2-liter water bottles, these ones are 4 liters. So depending on the level that you are at, I'm going to show you all the different varieties, because believe me, in these workouts I'm going to be adding tempos. I'm going to be a little bit more specific. So some of the tempos, the way you go in eccentric and the concentric movement, and then the holds and everything like that, is going to make it a whole lot better to use this weight over this weight. All right, so it all depends on which level you're at. After that, the third exercise is going to be the incline dumbbell chest press. So that's going to be fairly easy. I'm going to show you with the dumbbells on my bench. Now, when you don't have a bench, so I'm going to assume that you have absolutely nothing at home, we're going to use this pack of water bottles again, and the regular, the bottles, the 2 versions of the bottles, and we're going to do it just by supporting our backs against some kind of an obstacle. I'm assuming that most people will have a couch or an easy chair home that they can lever their back against and provide that kind of inclined feel to the body. Finishing with, now we're going to do lateral raises, again, both with dumbbells and the 2 options of water bottles. And finally, we're going to do the tricep push downs. Now for that one, I'm going to use my cable machine over here with the regular rope like you find in the gym. And I'm going to give you guys 2 different options to do at home, both an overhead tricep extension with the pack of 24 water bottles, and the tricep kickbacks we're going to use with the bottles. So without further ado, let's go and dissect each exercise step by step and find out exactly how we can modify exercises so we can have the options for both people that have some dumbbells, some equipment at home, and people that don't have it. Let's get right into it.
So as we can see, the first exercise, flat dumbbell chest press. This one you're looking to do 3 sets of 15 to 20 repetitions. So pick your weight wisely so that you have to do at least 15 repetitions of it. But when you get to 20, you should start to struggle. So you shouldn't be able to do, maybe if you push, you can get 23 or 24 repetitions, but you must stop at 20 for this exercise. The tempo is very easy. 2 seconds going up, 2 seconds hold at the top, 1 second coming down, 2 seconds hold at the bottom. You want to make sure that every single time you're at the bottom, your chest gets stretched nicely, and then when you're at the top, you're trying to squeeze the shoulders together so your chest, your pectoral muscles can get very well squeezed at the top. Separate them down nicely. As you go down, breathe in, breathe out as you're at the top. Now from this option, if you don't have dumbbells in your house or a bench, we move straight into the 24 pack of water bottles. This one can be done on the floor. Maybe if you have a bench, you can do it on the bench, but on the floor generally, I'm assuming you don't have a bench. Same idea. Make sure you stretch the shoulders and the chest at the bottom, and at the top you get that squeeze. Tempo stays exactly the same. Another variation for this one is the water bottles. These 2-liter water bottles are very effective, especially if you're more of a beginner, because the tempo, as I mentioned, is very important. So you want to make sure that you flex and squeeze the muscles just the right amount, and then by the end it might get a little bit heavier. However, you might be more of an advanced athlete, so then you can use the 4-liter water jugs. Now these ones might be a little bit more tricky to do when it comes to the balancing and handling of the water bottles. They could be all over the place, but if this is the only option you have, then you can go ahead with these ones and just try to balance them the best you can. Moving forward, just to emphasize a little bit on the chest side of things, as you can see in this shot, I'm trying to emphasize that the chest needs to be very squeezed at the top, and when you go down to the bottom, you want to have a nice big stretch in your chest. This one doesn't necessarily only apply to the dumbbells, but applies to the pack of water as well, the 24 pack. In this one, as you can see, I'm going down just as much with the stretch, and then at the top, I'm squeezing the shoulders together, trying to get that full squeeze out of the muscle. This is the main point of this workout, to really focus on your muscles and squeeze them appropriately. When you do the 2-liter or the 4-liter water bottles, same concept applies. Now in here you can see me move the shoulder so I can give you a much better idea of how the shoulder movement should happen. So when you're doing the chest press, every time you're pressing up, as you can see, my shoulders move forward, and that allows for your chest to flex a little bit more. Going backwards allows for the stretch to happen much better. So your goal is to try and press it up. You won't be able to necessarily move the shoulders as high up as I do in my standing up position, but you will try your best to mimic and have that motion happening in your head so that you get the full squeeze out of the chest when you're pressing, and then move your shoulders back. Imagine that stretch is happening and you're almost pulling your shoulders back to engage the stretch out of your shoulders. So for this exercise, the seated dumbbell shoulder press, this is your superset to your chest presses. So in between the chest press and the shoulder press, you don't want to take any kind of break. Once you're done with one, go straight to the next one. Once you're done the shoulder press, however, at the end, you can take a 20-second break before you repeat back to the chest presses and go through the shoulder presses again. The shoulder presses in particular are 3 sets, but only 12 to 15 repetitions. So again, pick your weight wisely to not be able to do more than maybe 2 or 3 more repetitions after your 15. However, as per the plan, you will stop at 15 repetitions. The tempo is also a little bit different. You're going to do 2 seconds going up, 1 second hold at the top, 1 second coming down, and then 0 seconds hold at the bottom. So notice that I don't take any kind of break at the bottom. Once I hit it, I start going right back up. Main thing you need to notice on this one is my elbow at the top does not get locked out, and I get full stretch going down with the shoulders and the elbows, and then full stretch going up, but the elbow does not lock out. So assuming at home you don't have a bench or dumbbells, we have the option of a chair with either the 24 pack of water bottles, the movement being exactly the same. So you stretch going down all the way to your chest, and then you press as high as possible. But again, never lock out that joint. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I am very against joint locking, so don't damage your tendons or ligaments locking the joint. The 2-liter water bottles are also an option because shoulders, you'll be surprised how many people have weak shoulder joints, and especially if you're doing a chest press before this exercise, your shoulders may be tired. So you want to be very careful to, again, maintain that tempo as is and not damage anything in the shoulder, because they're easy to be damaged but hard to recuperate. But if you're more advanced, you can use the 4-liter water bottles as well. And just like with the chest press, be very careful on balancing the water bottles and to not lose control of them. However, the motion all throughout is exactly the same, going nice and deep and then pushing all the way up to the top. Now, what exactly I mean about the shoulder moving up and down is in this shot right over here. Every time I go down and deep, my shoulders almost pull down to the floor and a little bit back, together with my shoulder blade, and at the top it's almost like you're trying to touch the ceiling with whatever object you're using, either the dumbbells or the water bottles or the pack of waters. So it doesn't matter which motion you do, your shoulder needs to go up a little bit to really flex that anterior deltoid, and then go down nice and deep to get the stretch out of the shoulders, again all throughout, following the tempo as per described at the beginning. Now in this shot, I'm showing exactly what I mean about the shoulders moving up and down. And just like with the chest press, you'll never be able to get that actual motion out of the shoulder, but you will do your best and imagine in your head that that's what you're trying to do with the shoulders, lift them up nice and high. The movement is initiated from your shoulder blade, so the shoulder blade has to move up a little bit, and then when you go with the dumbbells down, the shoulder blades pull down and then together to really get that stretch out of your deltoids. So by the time we move into the third exercise, we have no more supersets happening now. So you can assure yourself that maybe you can go a little bit heavier in weight because now you have the time to rest, the 20-second time to rest in between every single exercise. This one is the incline chest press. So the only difference between this and a flat bench press is that you have to incline the bench to a 45-degree angle. Don't go too low because you're going to not hit the right fibers of the chest. Don't go too high because you're going to move into shoulder movement too much. 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions here, and the tempo is 1 second going up, 2 seconds holding at the top, 2 seconds to come down, and then 1 second hold at the bottom. Again, the elbows and the shoulder movements stay exactly the same as they did in the regular flat chest press. For this one, I assume that you don't have a bench or any kind of weights at home, so you can improvise by sitting on the floor, leaning against your couch or maybe your easy chair. Form that 45-degree angle on your body and use the 24 bottles of water or the 2-liter waters of bottle. Make sure that your lower back does not curve in any way and it stays nice and straight with a 45-degree angle for your body. I highly suggest not to use the 4-liter water jugs on this one because, as you can see, if they go too low, they will end up hitting the object that you're leaning against, impeding your exercise movement. And now we're moving into exercise number 4 and the second last exercise for the day, the lateral raises. On this one, you see you have only 2 sets but 20 to 25 repetitions. So this right away tells you that your weight cannot be that heavy when you have that amount of repetitions to do. The tempo is also 1 second going up, 1 second hold at the top, 1 second going down, and then 0 seconds at the bottom. So you don't even get that little split second of a break at the bottom to let your shoulders rest. It is a standalone exercise, it's a high repetition count, so you get a 30-second rest in between each of the exercises. The key part on this one that you need to worry about is that your body cannot be rocking back and forth. You're not allowed to bend your back. Your feet need to be together, flat on the floor, knees just slightly bent, and the entire rest of your body, the core starts getting engaged, just like I presented to you in my core workout video. The core has to be tight, flex from front to back, side to side, and then top to bottom. Everything stays together. The arms also, notice that my elbows are not locked out. They are straight but not locked out. And the arms with the dumbbells or whatever object you use in your hand can only go shoulder height. So for this one, obviously, we will not be able to use the jug, the water bottles, rather the 24 water bottles. So you're stuck with the 2-liter water bottles or the 4-liter water bottles. As you can see, the motion is exactly the same. Probably 2-liter water bottles are the safest on this one if your shoulders are tired from the previous exercise. So do be careful, just like with the other ones, not to injure your shoulder anyway, and maintain the tempo count. The 4-liter water bottles, just the same, only the jerking in your arm. Make sure you have relatively good control on the water bottles so that they don't in any way injure your shoulder because they're jerking out and back and forward too much. Now in this slow motion exercise, I show you what can happen if you're getting very tired and the weight is too heavy for you. By the time you hit 20 or 25 repetitions, and you must hit that amount of repetitions, you may start bending the elbows too much, you may start jerking back and forward, you may start using too much momentum out of it, and at this point you have thrown away the exercise. You are not following the tempo anymore, and you are endangering your back, your shoulder joints, your elbows, everything. So you gotta pick the perfect amount of weight to be able to do all the repetitions without jerking like this. As you can see in this shot over here, the elbows, or rather the arms, do not go higher than shoulder height, and the elbows, notice they stay nice and straight, but they do not lock out. As you know from my previous videos, and as I mentioned before into this one, my biggest pet peeve is locking joints out. So you never really need to lock your joints out. There are very few instances when I will tell you lock your joint out, but this one is definitely not one of them. Lift the arms, shoulder height, elbows are straight, but never locked out. And here we go, moving into the last exercise of the day. Ideally, and in the perfect world, and based on the planning, this is supposed to be a tricep pushdown or a rope tricep pushdown on the cable. 2 sets of this exercise, just like with the lateral raises, 20 to 25 repetitions. So again, the weight can't be too heavy, but you have a 3-second going up, 2-second hold at the top, 3-second going down, and then 1-second hold at the bottom. So the tempo is a little bit trickier on this one. 30-second rest in between the exercises. Now, what you notice on this one is from the shoulder joint, nothing moves. So my elbow is always pointed straight and forward to the ground. Feet are together, knees slightly bent, about a 45-degree angle bend from the hips, and I try to focus and move everything all the way to the bottom rope-wise. As you see in this shot over here, my wrist at the bottom twist and point with the knuckles straight to the floor. This allows for the tricep to engage fully and get the full work out of the triceps. What you're trying to do on this one is to hyperextend the elbow and really flex that tricep out. An alternative way to do this exercise and get the same result is with kickbacks. Now you only have dumbbells in your house, you don't have cables. This is the way to do the kickbacks: a 45-degree bend, feet together, and move right from the elbow joint. Similar idea if you don't have dumbbells, you'll have the water bottles. The 4-liter jugs are not recommended in this exercise, but you have the 2-liter ones, so you extend all the way, you fully hyperextend the elbow, but nothing moves at the shoulder level. Another alternative for these guys is the 24 bottles of water, and as you notice, the way I grab the water bottle is supposed to be long ways, not width ways. So in this one, I bring it right overhead, and it's what's called overhead tricep extension. My feet are still together, knees slightly bent. My back cannot rock back and forth in any way, shape, or form, and I always try to keep those elbows pointing straight to the ceiling and as close together as possible. In this shot again, you see from the side how deep I have to go with the bottles of water and how high up I go to hyperextend the elbow at the top and get the full tricep engagement.
So there you have it, guys. A very simple and to the point workout that involved all of your pushing muscles from your body. The chest, the deltoids, more exactly front and mid, the triceps, all these ones are muscles that push the weight away from the body. So the way that the fibers contract, they push something away from the body. Our next workout is going to come on all the pull muscles. So things like your back, your biceps, your rear delts. All of these exercises do push the weight, or pull rather, the weight towards the body. So the way, again, the fibers contract, they bring something close to the body. Now I decide to leave the legs as something on their own day, their own workout, because yes, there's push and pull muscles in the leg as well, but I don't want to combine them too much in your workout, so I'm gonna keep it upper body push, upper body pull, and then the leg muscles and the abs. Again, the abs are something that's very ambiguous, and there's a lot of controversy there and which one's pushing and pulling. So I prefer to keep the abs on their own single day, the legs doing their own day, and then the push and pull for the upper body. Please get creative with the exercises. The ones that I showed you over here with the water bottle, again, like my previous videos, you can maybe use a bag of potatoes, maybe a bag of flour mixture, or whatever you have around the house to mimic. Get creative and see what's happening. But as I showed you in my lateral raises videos, you don't want to get something that's too heavy to not be able to do the tempo, because then you're going to throw away the form and the exercise altogether. You're going to work all the different muscles in the body, but the ones you're targeting to. So you want to keep the clean form. You want to make sure that all the joints are just like I showed you in the other video, and the tempo is there. That's the main thing on the tempo. Other than that, guys, enjoy this workout. Thank you so much for following my video. But if you do have any kind of questions about this video, please drop me a comment below. As I mentioned in my previous ones, I will answer within 24 hours. And again, strong dragon training is here to help you guys out. And if need be, I'll be more than happy to send you a private video to kind of target your limitations. If you have any, maybe a shoulder injury or maybe a muscle pull, a muscle tear, whatever your situation may be, drop me a comment. We can go through a direct messaging, find out a little bit so I can recommend different exercises or how you can modify the exercise that I've shown you in this video to be able to be safe and effective throughout your workout. My name is Dragos, Strong Dragon Training, the flame of fitness. Thank you so much for following this video. I'll catch you guys on my next one.